That's from.
Yeah. Okay, with my phone.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so that can order. Okay.
Right. So yeah. Habakkuk chapter 1. I'll start at verse 12 this time. It says, Art thou not from everlasting, O Yahweh, my God, mine Holy One? We shall not die, O Yahweh, thou hast ordained them for judgment, and almighty power, thou hast established them for correction. Thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Wherefore lookest thou upon them that do treacherously, and holdest thy tongue, when the wicked devoured the man that is more righteous than he? Alright, so as I was saying before, the Most High can't behold iniquity, can't behold evil. Alright, and if the Most High is saying, right, Acts 13 or verse 26, he said that King David was a man after his own heart.
22.
Come, right? Because what King David would have been the one that would have, Psalms 119, it said that what he delight in the law, right? So if King David delight in the law or the instructions of the Most High, why would King David be committing himself in homosexual acts with Johnathan? You understand? It just makes no sense. You see what's going on with some of you people. You people so hate the scriptures that you try to look for things to, say the Bible or whatever the case is. But yet, with any one of the other books, you people try not to debunk whatever the case is, because what you people in your heart hate instructions. You hate the Most High. You understand?
You bring Samuel 18, 3-4.
Book of 1 Samuel chapter 18. Verse 3. It says, Then Johnathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. And Johnathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David, and his garment, even to the sword, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle.
Right. And if they did read this and read a little higher, they would have understood why it is Johnathan give David these things. And if you could just go back, read from the next chapter, about 3-4 verses up.
The next chapter?
Yeah. The last, because I think the chapter 17, the last 4 verses.
1 Samuel 17, 34, 54 me. It says, And David took the head of the Philistines and brought in Jerusalem.
Like when he slew Goliath. Good.
But he put his armor in his tent. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth? And Abner said, As thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell. And the king said, Inquire thou whose son the stripling is. And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistine in his hand.
Right. And this Philistine was a nuisance to the children of Israel. You understand? David is the one that stepped up to the plate. Right? So, that hence the reason Johnathan feel that he was basically wanted to put him in kingly apparel. So he take off, he understand? In other words, he deserving of this. The hence the reason Johnathan take off his garment and put it on David.
It's the same thing Belshazzar would have done Daniel. Tell him basically dress him in purple and glorious apparel.
King, you was a king.
he wasn't a king at that time, but Johnathan see fit to make him look like,
Yeah.
hey, the man fitting for this.
So what me just say, you know he was King David, right?
Right.
Right, the Lord that chose him, right? And when the scripture say King David, David loved him as himself.
Can.
Right? So he see him as an equal.
As
like,
your own soul.
your own soul. Right?
The scripture say that. That is in the law. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
And it's men who learn go talk that kind of talk, and men who are against the scriptures go talk them kind of talk, men who pushing that different kind of, because I either say them kemet and them say them kind of thing.
Because I can understand some. You can't reach. You can't come with. Will you come with this foolishness to say that David don't judge them as homosexuals?
But with the precepts them bring to even back up what I was saying.
That Johnathan take off his garment.
That?
Yeah, that is one of the precepts that show that he kisses, like he and David kiss. The scripture says, greet your brother with a holy kiss.
But look, even in some of them old movies, you see two Edomites, what? Not the homosexual thing, there's barbarians or there's rough men, and they'll kiss each other away on the cheeks, wherever the case is. You understand? It's a long time I didn't see my brother, wherever the case is, and that was an ancient custom, and if people from Kemet, wherever they say it's ancient custom like this, so the time when he tried to came against the elders or one West members with the 12-year-old thing.
When you remind me,
no, this Egypt, basically him again, first thing not important.
that's so now, you know.
No, you talk about
Yeah.
Think when his daughter get kidnapped the other day or something so?
I don't even know why. Doesn't know for him.
Anyhow.
You understand?
Polite.
Yeah, polite.
Yeah.
You understand? But in ancient times, that's just a custom. Go back to the East will teach you. You understand? From the rising of the sun, from the rising of the light, that is the East is, you understand? So go back from the rising of the light, and the fucking West, that is where the light does set. And that is what's going on in the West, and the most side going and put the West like down just now. You understand? There's nothing but foolishness over in the West. You're talking about what the Egyptian and the things all they used to be doing. They went all this Egypt over the cases, but you're talking shit in the 21st century. If all these Egyptians go back to all their custom, why all the line the white man plague all the oppress all the custom, but about 12-year-old and these kind of things. A matter of fact, is all the Egyptians or people in Kemet is actually who started off with this homosexual things, right? Because when the Mosai gave us the laws, it was not to do after the customs of the Canaanites, which are Hamitic people. The Canaanites, the Philistines, these people could call themselves Kemet. You understand? Because it comes from Ham, which is Ham. These are the ones that actually started off with homosexuality. Sodom and Gomorrah was so-called Africans, Hamitic. Esau learned it from them because Esau's wife was what? Was Hamitic people. Alright? So all those homosexuality stuff and these things actually started with the so-called Africans. So about Kemet and you're trying to prove that what? King David and King David and Johnathan was what? Homosexuals and all they say all they going against that. And but all they yet in all their head all they saying what? All these Egyptians or Hamitic people. But the Hamitic people have no law. So why they go against why all they have a problem with homosexuality in the first place? When it's all who actually invented the shit in Sodom and Gomorrah. Five Hamitic nations.
And they're trying to class men who just kill homosexuals. Right? Because at that time if David or Johnathan meet even a Israelite man in that act, don't put them to death.
Because why? The sons of David, the kings, I believe Jehoshaphat and those men, they put out all the Sodomites and things from the nation. They would have learned from their father, and these was righteous men. The scripture said, matter of fact, I'll get that for you after, but let me just read this. Psalms 148. No, Psalms 147, Salak, yeah. It says, and 18, it says, he sendeth out his word and melted them. I'll start at verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not done so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise the Yahweh. So, all they saying, all they Kemetic. What they have to do with the law in all them out in the first place? All you have nothing to do, all you rebuking the people who are the law, and all you are the law. This is what the scripture had to say about King David. And not even King Solomon it even reads so. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 50. Alright, Sirach 49, and I'll start at 1. It says, the remembrance of Josiah is like the composition of the perfume that is made by the art of the apothecary. It is sweet as honey in all mouths, and as music at a banquet of wine. He behaved himself uprightly in the conversion of the people, and took away the abominations of iniquity. And what is one of the abominations of iniquity? Homosexuality. He directed his heart unto the Lord, and in the time of the ungodly he established the worship of the Most High Power. Here what the scripture has to say now in verse 4. All except David and Ezekiah, which is Ezekiah, and Josiah were defective, for they forsook the law of the Most High. Even the kings of Judah failed. So all the other kings except David, Hezekiah, and Josiah was defective. They erred. Yes, King David, as we'll go into the book of the precept there when King David sinned. But how come King David will sin and the Most High pull him up on that, but wouldn't pull him up on
being a homosexual?
Come on, makes no fucking sense.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse from 2 says, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, that each esteem others better than himself. Right? So, like basically what King David will do. And he will be in brother's keeper. And he will looking at Johnathan, he seeking angels before you himself. That is being a brother. I'm honest. You can look at it in that way also.
Hey, you put your life on the line.
Yeah.
Pray to the Most High, and he went out on the battlefield. Goliath was much bigger than him.
Yeah.
He didn't study you himself.
Look, even Johnathan almost killed a spear faith. You understand? When King David, they set out to meet the second day after the new moon, and he asked him what the David is, and he said, well, he had business to go and attend to. And King Saul was vexed with him, say, hey, you don't know if this man think he will not take the throne, or if he can cut that job then after him, man. You understand? But he was seeking he got our own interest. Because why the 12 tribes are brethren?
Yeah. He was being brother keeper. This is 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 2. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Johnathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. And Johnathan stripped himself of his robe that was upon him, and gave it to David, and his garment, even to his sword, and to the bow, and to his girdle.
So that mean he strip himself totally naked? No, take off his girdle, which was what he belt. That don't mean he draws. You understand? He take off the outer apparel. He would have on something. He would have on his breeches, whatever the case is.
Yeah, Israel used to rent their garment in a time of mourning. They used to when they rent their garment, they used to be naked.
That is why the person who playing up these things have to be unlearned. They knows nothing about going on with David and Johnathan. They knows nothing about going on with the scriptures.
Probably he's a homosexual.
They're trying to put a man after the Most High own heart as that.
Because these homosexuals try to actually put homosexuality also inside of the Bible to justify their actions of being homosexual. They even say the Lord was gay. You understand?
2 Samuel 12.
You know if you're not knowing the scriptures.
Then we go verse But anyhow, this is 2 Samuel chapter 12, starting verse 1. It says, And Yahweh sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him, and said unto him, There were two men in the city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him and with his children. It did eat and his own meat, and drink of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd, to dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David was angered. You understand? Now, what Johnathan showing the pride, I just he's showing David the iniquity that he had done. Now, if David was doing something in secret or anything, they're not the same way the Most High would have sent the prophet to let him know, hey, you can't sit down on the throne. They understand? There's nothing secret to hide, no secret to hide from the Most High. The scripture says he is 10,000 times brighter than the sun.
Yeah.
Well, the scripture says who could take what could something that is crooked, who could make it straight? Hey, and David is a man repented.
The scripture talk about the Lord is not who set up kings
And Proverbs chapter 1, he is in the house. Proverbs chapter 1 say 21 and 1.
The heart of the king is in the hands of the Most High. He turned to everybody.
Can.
Yeah.
This is Sirach 23 and 19, and our next one is Sirach 17. It says I'll start at 18 though. It says, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness, the walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins. Such a man only fear the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. He knew all things ere ever they were created, so also after they were perfected, he looked upon them all. So yeah, the Most High would have known there are no hiding place out there, as them Baptists and the scene in the song, right? From the Most High. This is Sirach 17 and 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. Right? So the Most High gave us the instructions of life. The scripture saying, Baruch, happy art thou, Israel, but the things well pleasing unto the Most High known unto us. So King David, being a man saying he delight in the law, obviously he would have known that Batman guy thing. It's boom by in a Batman head, even though they would not have guns in them days. You understand? It's slash and dash them Batman them. You understand? Jumping on to verse 18. 17, it says, for in the division of the nations of the whole earth he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion, whom, being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and given him the light of his love, doth not forsake him. Therefore all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him. So the Lord pull him up for the adultery. How come you pulling up for homosexuality? But all their sins are before the Lord. You understand? So yeah, all the sins are before the Lord. Pull him up for the adultery.
Something we brought up, destroy whole city.
And then warn them and say, if a man lie with the next man, he shall be put to death. He also said, there shall be no sodomites found among the sons of Israel. The scripture in Romans, even Paul quoted it. He said the thing after they won't fly, they lost.
Romans 1 and 26.
Yeah, say forsake the natural use of the woman. Come now, man. The scripture not about that guy thing. Or you believe in being Africans and war blasting, well, still the debunking who see the Bible talk about homosexuals. Get the fuck out of here.
I one of the main man.
Yeah. One of the main stars.
See that David.
House of David.
Romans 1:24, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Yes, so that's how dishonor unto your body. That it's a pitiful thing when somebody has to call you a faggot. You see how them does walk? Yeah. Come now, man, how they just talk?
The scripture forget right, the scripture say the body was not for fornication.
Come. Yeah, it wasn't made for fornication.
Come.
It says, who change the truth of God into a lie and worship this and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection, for even their woman did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God. So being a homosexual, you be classed a hater of God, but you're going to accept this man as king forever. Makes no sense. Despiteful, proud. Homosexuals are very proud. Boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. You understand? Without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. Being a homosexual is unmerciful also, because as me and Ak was saying, sometimes we going down in the bus and we just blaze sometimes. You understand? Them actually looking at little boys. Them homosexuals and them looking at little boys to penetrate a 6-year-old, 7-year-old. Come on, man. Who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only to do the same, but are pleasure in them that do them. So all them people who defending the homosexual thing and all this kind of wickedness, all themselves win and die. Yeah. Anything like that.
Yes, so the whole thing, David was a man after the Most High own heart. He was not no homosexual, he was a gallus.
For real.
You understand? He had many wives. If you're on the class, if you're on the class, anybody in the scriptures as a homosexual, better you try Claudius Caesar. The Roman Empire, try them. We gotta understand that, try them.
And Alexander the Great,
yeah.
Had to go in the airport.
Yeah,
the gallus,
the gallus swing.
Yeah, okay.
He was a gallus.
With that, praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And I said honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that surely rule well.
That's right.
And salutations to the men that doing this work out there in truth and sincerity. Right, this is a part of the Trinidad camp just saying Shalom.
Shalom.
And basically, I don't want to let the video get tarnished or take down anything, but we don't promote homosexuals. I would say it like that.
I thought.
If you say if you talk to Hajj, you might want to take down your video now.